All right, before we get started, I just want to send a kind reminder, if you will, silence your cell phones. All right, we have the agenda before us. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Time now. Roll call, please.
Mills,
Present.
Director Jewell,
Here.
Vandergraff is absent, Holmes,
Here.
Wright,
Here.
Dodson is absent. Foreman's present.
All right, quorum is present. We're going to go to the next item. The next item is approval of the minutes. The minutes have been sent to you, and they are before you now. If you have viewed the minutes, please let me know if there's a motion on the floor.
I make a motion that we accept the meeting agenda.
Second.
All right, it's been motion and second to accept the minutes as read. Roll call, please.
Mills. Here. Director Jewell,
Yes.
Holmes,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right, motion carries. Next item we have on the list is approval of the fiscal year 2026 budget.
The budget should have been in your packet. The one that was sent out in the packet on Friday, there was a slight revision to the budget that is now placed on your desk. And the only revision was the parks, $267,000 that was reallocated from 2024 to 2025. So it changed how much the restricted reserves were and increased the parks budget for 2025. There was it doesn't affect your fund balance or anything like that. That was the only change that was made.
Okay.
As far as the 2026 budget goes, our projected revenues will be about the same as for 2025. We do an average of several years to come up with the projection, so they're kind of in line with what we will receive for 2025. Also, the expenses for 2026, since the commission voted to not allocate any funding for any organizations, you will see all the different zeros, and the only thing that's put into the 2026 budget is everything that you are contracted for. So that would be the legal fees, the advertising is always in the budget, the rec center, $60,000, $50,000 for the finance department, and the park superintendent salary and ADC worker salary. Also, the bond payment for the bond for the park at World Park for that project is also in the 2026 budget. So with all of those expenses in the budget, we're at about 1.2 million in expenses, and then you'll end with a fund balance of about $331,000. The A&P fund should always have about, at the least, at the minimum, $150,000 in fund balance. So at the end of 26, you'll have about 170,000 over that. And in 2027, if you decide to allocate more money, then you can out to different organizations, but we will still have, if you do issue the bond in 26, the $750,000 payment will be in 27 as well.
All right, 27. Gotcha.
So it will be a constant payment there until the bond is paid off, if you decide to issue the bond in '26. And that was based on the project that Tyler reviewed with you guys a few meetings ago.
All right.
How long of a bond is that? How many years?
15.
15?
Yes, sir.
What's the life expectancy of that turf?
The life expectancy is 20, but with the initial project, there's a lot more that happens than just turf. I mean, you're
Drainage.
talking about an entire 12 to 18-inch section that is built. So once you go back in and replace once the turf gets worn or whatever, and you have to replace that, you're talking about a significantly less cost than the initial project. But with these, you also do cutouts in the turf for the high wear areas. So around your bases, at home plate, pitcher's mound, you've got cutouts there, so you can just pull up that turf that's extremely worn in those high wear areas and replace just that portion. So depending on how much it's used, you could get anywhere from 20 to 30 years out of it. But what the supplier states is life expectancy of about 20. It's all going to depend on use, though.
Speaking of use, are those fields currently used other than any type of tournament that's going on by the general public during the week, during the weekends that there's nothing there?
No,
That-
sir. It's not used by the general public. It's not open to the general public.
Okay.
Right now, it's solely used for the rec league, and that's it. They may have a couple of tournaments out there. They used to do more tournaments, but for some reason, the league backed off of that, and now it's mainly just league ball there during the week, and some all-stars stuff. You know, we had the World Series out there, that sort of thing, but it's currently not, they're not pushing for any tournaments out there currently.
Because
It's a lot of maintenance
Current.
to support these tournaments. Yeah, and all the folks out there are volunteers, of course. They're not getting paid for anything, so it's a struggle sometimes to get enough people to volunteer to come out on the weekend and do the maintenance on the fields, because, you know, they'll have to drag fields in between games, they may have to re-chalk lines, that sort of thing. So I'm not sure if that's why they backed off the tournament so much, but that'd be my best guess.
All right, are there any more questions?
yeah, go ahead, sir.
Well, I just got a general question. Okay. The A&P Commission didn't honor any individual requests, right? I mean, so was there much kickback from the public on that decision from?
I haven't heard any kickback. Those calls haven't come to me. Have y'all got some?
I've gotten like one.
And
Well, I got maybe one or two at the gym, and they asked that specific question. They want to know why. And we simply conveyed to them that we want to organize as a body of work and organize internally to be efficient and effective on how we service Texarkana, Arkansas tourists and promote advertising and promotion. And so, and that's what we all agreed on.
I did get one call from a business owner, not someone that is generally allocated money. And it was more just an inquiry, why is the A&P Commission doing this? So I gave him all the background, and he seemed okay after that. But as far as entities that may have been funded in the past, I can't recall any that have.
But isn't the real reason why we're not doing it is because we're spending that much money on the park and there's not that much money left over?
It's twofold. Yeah, that is one reason, but the big reason is for the past 2 years, the grants that have been issued have gone above and beyond the revenue that has been brought in. So A&P Commission tapped into fund balance, spent every bit of the revenue, every bit of the fund balance, and really set nothing back. So it's caught up with us now.
So I thought, we wanted to build up the fund balance this year.
Yes, ma'am. And if y'all want to move forward with the project, then, yeah, that's obviously a big chunk of the money.
When will we decide if we're moving forward with the project or not? Is that a separate meeting from today?
There will be, well, there hasn't been a vote or anything, but A&P Commission did tell me to proceed. Now, so I've got bond counsel and public finance company working on it. Those individuals are also working on our street bond for the city. So they haven't done too much work on it yet. That will be coming here in the very near future. But there's going to be a process to it. The bonds would be issued through the Public Facilities Board. There's going to have to be a transfer of ownership of the park property from the city to the Public Facilities Board. But the bond counsel is supposed to be laying all that out in a timeline that I can provide to y'all. What I foresee as the first vote that y'all would have would be to enter a lease with Public Facilities Board for the property to fund the bond. Can you think of anything else, or do we need to have a vote to proceed?
Well, a vote to proceed would never hurt.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you mentioned this, we've done this, I can't remember the last year we did it.
We did it in 2019 for when the city purchased the industrial property. Not the A&P Commission. I don't know if the A&P Commission has ever been involved in the bond.
Well, no, I mean foregoing allocations.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the bond.
2021.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And just to make it clear, last year, we actually went into the red. And traditionally, we usually have at least $250,000 or greater that's in the fund balance. But last year, we did go into the red. We went over budget. And this is also another reason why is give us time to structure internally and to fix some items on our bylaws that was overdue to make sure that we're operating efficiently. Did you
No.
have?
I'm still a little bit unclear. Has this body decided to move forward with the bond?
That was the consensus. There was no vote. All right, so there's obviously a lot of work that needs to be done beforehand to set the wheels in motion. The consensus was to move forward with that. Now, if y'all decided not to do it, we're not, I would never take a step
Sure.
that was too far where we can't turn back. Yeah.
Will this body be officially taking a vote to
Oh,
proceed?
yes, yeah, you're gonna have to, yes, sir,
George, were
absolutely.
you at that meeting? I
The
wasn't.
one to proceed forward, I don't believe I
I
was.
wasn't at the
I don't
meeting
remember.
either, so, I mean,
I can go back in the recordings and,
I was on my honeymoon.
oh, okay.
But we will be going on record officially to proceed at some point, right?
Yeah, how about we just put that on the next meeting?
Yes.
And we can clear that up.
So,
Does that sound good to everybody?
yeah, I mean, my only question is, it's a big investment for the city, and I know that the city of Texarkana, Texas, correct me if I'm wrong, did a query or they did a study that determined that the investment was more than gonna bring back. And is that what we're leaning on as far as our investment, because they're next door and?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it's the same idea, yes.
Right.
But I did with that, I don't remember if it was with that original presentation or not, I don't recall, but I did get quotes for an economic impact study, which I think for all three phases of it, it was like $30,000 or $40,000, something like that. The feedback that I got from the A&P Commission at that time didn't really look like y'all wanted to move forward with that. But we do have access to, it's called M-Plan. It's an economic impact software where you can run scenarios through it. You can run projects like this through it. And we can certainly run this through that software, and I can give you a report on it.
Sounds
I
good.
mean, I don't know how many tournaments this will generate. I mean, I don't have
Mhm.
children, I've never been to a tournament. I
Ye-
don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to have a 50, 60 team tournament every weekend.
Right.
By any means. You'll have, you'll have big ones, and, I mean, you can have a small tournament every single weekend, from March to October. Generally, they cut out second half of July and August, pick back up in September.
Will both cities work together to try to utilize all
We already are.
okay, all the fields together will be presented as, to bring in larger tournaments?
Yes, sir, we've already had several conversations on that. Yeah, they certainly want to work with us and do some bigger things for both sides.
Hey, Tyler, just a note on that. With that consideration, I would like for us to look in the future as far as maybe promoting more hotels to maybe establish on the north and south side of I-30s, because a lot of those tournaments go on, especially if they're collaborating, they come onto the Arkansas side, and the majority of the hotels on the Texas side. If we could, so we can benefit in some of that revenue that's coming in, and that they're not all eating and living on the Texas side when they come in. If we can, be looking at some type of a plan for that as well, so we can really benefit from, the investment. Yeah.
So one idea, I believe I've mentioned it to a couple of you maybe, but one idea with this project was building these kiosks at the park, at the exits, because, when people leave these tournaments, they're either, 90% of the time, they're walking out of those gates to go get food.
Right.
Take a rest at the hotel, whatever. So why not capitalize on that? And, we've got these large kiosks at the exit, promoting all of our local restaurants, our hotels, all of that. We thought that would be a good idea to implement into this project.
Definitely, and I just wonder if there's enough land and property that we can really, just to look at, maybe just do a climate survey to know if there's enough property somewhere around 49, we could do it, and we can really have maybe six restaurants right there around the ballpark, 4 hotels, it just a.
Are you talking about building
Separate
a new
location.
complex?
Yeah, just a separate, a different location. I know we're early in the process, but just a thought.
So
We could-
keep this in mind. For an entire new complex, we're talking about a $7 million bond for this project. For a new complex, you'll be talking about 30 million.
Yeah, probably triple, yeah.
Yeah. To build the same size as what's at Worrell right now. Luckily, A&P has funded some great upgrades out there already over the last 7 years or so with new concessions and all that. We don't have as much to do as, say, Texas Side did with their project. They tore concession stand down, had rebuilt all of that. We don't have as much rebuilding to do as they did. Their project was like 11 million. Ours is 7, and we've got 1 additional field more than they do.
Yeah, even if we can't rehouse, maybe a thought of if there's more living space on the, just hate to lose all that revenue. They come in and play ball and they all living on Texas Side or all shopping on Texas Side. I know with the kiosks, maybe we can give some type of incentive if they go shop here or there. But if, just in the future, if we can look at, having some more hotels, maybe along I-30, I-49, even if we can't put the ballparks over there, at least we can maybe get them an incentive to stay the night, 2 or 3 nights at our hotels. Even though we're running at a disadvantage right now that they're 8.25 over there and we're 10.25% over here. Now, if Texarkana wasn't just right next door, Arkansas wasn't right next door, we'd be doing great. But with the cheaper amount of taxes, just want us to just kind of be a little bit more, creative. And I think you're on a good roll with that. It's just some thought that if we could maybe kind of look at it, maybe just do a climate survey and see how we can benefit.
Yeah, when we do have a big tournament on Arkansas side, we generally sell out the hotels. When we had the World Series this summer, all our hotels on the Arkansas side, they were sold out and spilled over into Texas side. So
Yeah.
they do generally fill up. When we have a tournament on our side, they do generally fill up on our side and then spill over to Texas side.
Have that been communicated with Rob Sitterly, economic development, that, I know he recruit and communicate with different entrepreneurs that may want to build or what have you, that,
He more so focuses on the larger picture, the larger developments, industrial type stuff. As far as the retail, the restaurants, the hotels and that sort of thing, he doesn't have much focus in that area.
Who's our go-to person for that? Is that just the
For
chamber? Yeah, for the retail
retail?
and hotels, yeah.
Yes, so the chamber and I work close together in
Okay.
that effort. For example, we're working together now and trying to recruit grocery store in College Hill area.
Right.
So, yeah, the retail focus is landing more so on the city and the chamber.
Yeah, it'd be good we have a designated team, a person that could just solely work on that type of establishment, recruitment.
But we've also got our commercial real estate brokers out there
Okay.
that are out there recruiting retail as well.
Gotcha.
Richard Reynolds, Jerry Brewer. Jerry Brewer's working with us on the grocery store deal, but
Okay.
we've got several of those commercial guys out there.
One last question. Do you know that if they're pushing I-30 and I-49 in their
That,
quest?
that specific intersection,
Yes,
more than likely not, because the infrastructure's not there to access it yet.
it's only
that-
available in just certain locations and not the whole, yeah. I get it.
Yeah, I think they are focused more so on ready sites.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna take, very large, investment to build the infrastructure necessary around there to access all that.
Yes, sir. I see exactly what you're talking about. You know, the type of monies to go in and buy out and rebuild, tear down and go with a new structure. Yeah,
So,
all right.
looking at 2026, if I take this bond payment off of here, there's 6 other items. All 6 of these items are 100% obligated that we have to pay no matter what. I mean, I'm assuming legal is something that we have to pay. I'm assuming finance administration is something we have to pay. Is the balance rec center operations 60 grand, advertising 197.5, parks salary 110, ADC workers 92,985. Are those obligations that we are 100% obligated to, or are we paying them because we always have?
Okay, so with that, the only thing that you're not necessarily obligated to, rec center operations is the only thing that if you decide you want to take that off, that you can take off. As far as legal services, that would be your attorney here. We do have to pay that. The advertising, as of right now, we are only contractually obligated until the end of December. And if you can choose to continue with FAB or any other advertising agency, we do put it in the budget to make sure that you have it.
Okay,
The finance and the park super salary and ADC, you are contractually obligated for those things.
So the rec center operations, what does that entail? You said that's kind of optional.
That, anything to run the rec center, whatever they may need to run the rec center, so
and how does that fit into the world of what we're supposed to allocate the money for heads and beds or getting people in?
the rec center falls under parks, so it would be anything related to how parks are run.
And I guess the premise is that
And-
people are gonna come and see the park from out of town.
Yeah, if you look across the state, and it's not saying that it's the right way to fund it, but I mean, Mr. Potter here has said many times, there's lots of different things that y'all can do with the A&P funds. It's really up to y'all. I would say a large majority of cities in Arkansas do put quite a bit of A&P funds into their parks and parks. It's not necessary.
So the park super salary, that's 100% on us, and the ADC workers across size is 100% on us. That's in our bylaws, we gotta pay for it, no matter what.
What is that?
Y'all, I'm sorry.
What
What is the ADC workers cross ties?
Those are our cross
It's-
ties. No,
it's just ADC work.
Oh, okay,
Cross
okay,
ties
okay.
is the next
I got you.
down. Those are combined.
Okay.
The ADC workers are parks employees. They're full-time employees, they're prisoners that are on work release. So we pick them up from prison in the morning, they come work for us all day, we take them back after, at the end of the day. And so we've got 5, I think, or 4.
Four.
Four in parks,
we have some
and
in
5 in streets. Now, y'all don't fund the ones in streets, but that's just a commitment that A&P made long ago. That's
Right.
been a long time,
Yeah.
as long as
Before-
I've been with the city.
Right.
For 8 years.
And so it's done. My point is this, if nothing changes, we're gonna have $150,000 annually, plus or minus, to award. Would that be about the sum of it?
Yeah, so if you remember in the
was the last
presentation.
We went from
that I-
660 to 150?
Yeah, in the presentation that I gave you, I kind of broke it all out. If
Right.
you were to move forward with that large project, then this is what y'all would have left over. And I believe in that presentation, it was about 150 for grants. Yes, sir.
I guess the question is, the bond payment juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That's up to
15
y'all.
years.
Like I said, when I gave you all that presentation, I honestly didn't expect quite the support for it as I got. But it's just an idea. With that presentation, I just wanted to give the A&P Commission an idea of what they could do. And if you go look across the state, a lot of the A&P commissions are doing this very thing. They're investing their funds into a large capital project. They cut back on grants. Texas side has their A&P equivalent, hotel occupancy tax. And they don't even offer grants. They fund certain things every year. So what you do with the funds, that's completely up to you. With that presentation, I was just really presenting the commission with ideas of what you potentially could do. If y'all want to spend $900,000 funding events and these different entities each year, by all means, that is completely up to y'all.
Well, we appreciate you giving us the information because when we communicated about that, we did an assessment and we absorbed the information and we seen where we could have an increase in tax revenue. Also, we seen where it could get the youth more involved in the community, help decrease crime. Also, we seen that we can increase tourism to the city as well. And so with those factors that we looked at, the return on investment would be well worth investing into our city. And so those are some of the issues that we looked at and that it was favorable that we could benefit.
So maybe when we have the vote to proceed, we can have more communication talking about that. I know just from my restaurant and other restaurant owners, the summertime, we didn't really see any impact from the World Series. I don't know if you did, George. Summertime is our slowest time, generally speaking. But y'all may have had a lot of impact. I didn't see any change.
We know when
in
they're
it.
there because they have on baseball uniforms, but if
Right.
they don't have on their baseball uniform, I don't
Yeah.
know if it's just a bunch
Yeah.
of kids from Liberty Isle
It's hard to
who were
tell.
out playing somewhere and they just showed up.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask the property owners, have there ever been a collaboration with Parks and Recs to give incentives for the income in tourism, baseball, et cetera, to say, hey, come to our restaurant, we have 5% off or anything? Have there ever been a collaboration?
Not that I'm aware of.
You think maybe that's something we can collaborate on?
I would imagine so. No, the hotels definitely, profit from, or not profit, but they
Yeah.
Benefit.
benefit
Yeah.
from it, and that's good. I'm not so sure that the Arkansas side restaurants do. It's
Well, if there was a
possible.
QR
I didn't see it.
And we
It's
have a
possible.
list, I'm sorry.
If there was a QR code at the field that people would snap and it linked Texarkana, Arkansas restaurants, it would give us a first leg on, first set of eyes on us versus them going to Yelp or Google reviews or something.
Yeah, that's
like
the idea behind the kiosk.
that. Right.
Yeah.
I got one phone call after the World Series. I've drawn a blank on his name, but the owner of Holiday Bowl, he called me and he said that they were slam-packed every single night. And he certainly saw the impact. I didn't reach out to anyone else to ask if they saw an impact or anything. I believe I texted you, and I think I texted either you or Dave.
Is that the
One of
weekend
two.
that, when you texted me that
Yes,
that the World Series?
yes.
Okay, well, then in that case, yes, we did have a positive impact from that.
Oh, okay, all right.
I didn't realize that was the weekend it was going on.
Yes, ma'am, yeah, that was
Okay.
when I texted you.
Okay.
Because we had the World Series in town that weekend.
Okay.
But moving forward, can we be more intentional, more deliberate, or is this something we need to tap into Danny about to maybe create, to make sure that links?
Danny about that.
Okay, yeah, I better wait, sorry.
I don't want to commit to anything. I'm really, really sorry. I have to run to town hall meeting. Yes, sir.
One nice thing,
Oh, yeah.
you can give us some preliminary, your data that you're talking about.
Mhm.
Can you provide that to us?
Are you talking about the economic impact?
Yes.
Yeah,
What you're
certainly.
projecting,
We
what
ha-
you're seeing what your expectation, what this bond money will do for us, in your view, for us to digest the next meeting. Or before we
Absolutely.
vote.
Would it be beneficial? I've got a copy of the one that Texas side did, and it's run through the same software. I'll run our project through the same software to
we
spit
get
out
all
numbers
that?
that relates to us. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll go ahead and send y'all the copy that I've got right now of the one Texas side did. And then as soon as we complete the one
Just, I
Arkansas
think,
side.
just anything that may make any of us
Yeah,
think-
certainly.
to look at this more favorably or whatever. I think there's a little apprehension.
Mhm.
These
Yeah,
people
whatever
here
y'all want.
as-
Which
I mean,
is a
by
lot
by
better.
theory,
I think they need to-
sales
I think they
tax
need
in
a
the
little
restaurant,
silly.
we should be bringing in more money.
Mhm.
In theory,
Mhm.
if there's more tournaments here, we should have more hotel rooms and more food and beverage sold.
Definitely
here.
more tax revenue,
Right.
yeah.
So
We-
the tax revenue should increase, but
You
what
would
that
think.
number is, who knows, it may be maxed out now.
Well, we have to have more hotels for them to fit into as
Right.
well. At this point, we're still at the approval of the 2026 budget. I know we went into the discussion part, but we need a motion to know if there's a motion on the floor.
I make a motion to approve the 2026 budget.
I'll second.
It's been motion and second. Is there any further discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Mills,
Yes.
Jewell,
Yes.
Holmes,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Dotson,
Yes,
Brewer.
Yes, motion carries. For the record, also, will you please annotate that Dotson is present?
sorry.
And the next item we have on the agenda is the ad agency for all Brankind.
Hello, all. I'm Danny Hamblett with For All Brandkind.
Tell
Welcome
me
to
your
our
name
new
again.
commissioner. My name's Danny.
I like it.
She loves it.
Danny, before you get started, I just want to thank you for all the updates and allowing me come to your office and
Yeah.
go over information, all my questions. I really do appreciate that because a lot of people in the community ask me a lot of questions about advertising promotion, and I was able to give them a lot of the information of what you was doing for our advertising and promotion and our tourism. So I
Yeah,
appreciate everything you've been doing and
great.
and allowing me to come and bug you, hey, I need this, I need that. Because I don't have all the answers, but I want to say thank you.
Sure, of course. I hope that everybody feels like we're in a better place communication-wise.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. I
Yes.
think we feel that way too. Y'all have been, so yes, we have been sending out bi-weekly updates. Hopefully you've been reading those. So for today, we're kind of zooming out. I'm gonna go back and look at everything since we started working with you guys in 2024. I'm hearing some things that we might need to speak to at the end. Let's look through this and see if questions are answered, and then we can talk about ball games or budget or whatever else anybody wants to talk about. See if this works. Yes. Okay, so like I said, these numbers go back all the way to when we started working with you guys, which was last summer. But total overall impressions that we've had since we began working with you guys is over 4 million. So that's touch points with people across different platforms. These numbers specifically at the bottom show website, video, Facebook, and then Google Ads, which we've only been running for a few months, and we'll drill down into that a little bit more. I know we talked a lot about the website, and we feel that right now all of our digital ecosystem has really come together. So we've got good social media that we've been doing for you guys this whole time. We've got some really great video that's running and ads and just out there organically for people to see. We've got this clean website, and now we're running ads to send people to that website through these different ways. So we feel like it's all really gelling together in a good way. Does anybody have questions about any of these numbers or anything? Everybody understand? I'm going to try to break down any kind of weird jargon words for everybody. All right, so if you want to kind of start on the right side here, this pie chart, this is specific to the website. And this is how people find the website and where they're using it. So on the right, we can see that most people that find the website are mobile users. That's good for what we're trying to do. We're thinking about people who are traveling through, people who are on the go, they're looking for something to do. So those people are finding our website, so we consider that to be a win. And then on the left, that big blue box is organic search. So that means somebody's going to Google and or Bing or whatever your search engine is, Ask Jeeves, whatever, and typing in something about Texarkana. So they're not clicking on an ad, they're actively seeking it out. And organic means free, okay? So these are just organic users. That means we're not paying for ads for those people. So that's a great big number to have of people that visit the website that are just finding it for free. So that's kind of our low-hanging fruit where people are looking for info and we're able to provide it and we're getting them to this website with good information. In the smaller boxes, we've got our paid ads in the bottom. So paid digital ads, that means those Google ads, Facebook ads, video ads, any kind of ad we're running. Referral means they came from another website. And then direct links, that's where somebody went and typed in experiencetexarkana.com or scanned a QR code or, somehow directly went to the website. So people are looking up Texarkana because either they saw an ad about it or they're just interested in it. So that's positive news overall. All right, the people who are visiting the website are mostly within a driving distance, which is pretty much what we think of people that are going to come to our town, right? We've got a couple of cities that are kind of outliers out there, long distance travelers, maybe from Chicago and Atlanta. I don't know what's sparking curiosity amongst those people, but something is. So for most of this helps us inform advertising, because we say, hey, people are coming here from pretty close, so that's where we'll push our ads to. We don't need to advertise in New York City for people to come to Texarkana. That's just not going to be a thing.
Danny, is that Columbus, Georgia, or is that Columbus?
Good question.
Ohio? Okay.
I can't tell either,
I know
but I
it's
can
Columbus, Georgia.
dig
I was
into
in
it more and see. Maybe it's
military
Columbus, Georgia,
for-
since we have Atlanta.
Yeah,
I
was
can
in the
check it out and
military.
get back to you, or you can pop by. Okay, so there's two different ways that people are going to search for information about Texarkana. And like I said, organic, which is on the right, that means free. So that's just people going and doing this on their own. On the left, those are search terms that we're paying to rank for. So I won't get into the logistics of it, but when you go and you sit down at Google and you type in, where should I eat Texarkana? If y'all are running ads, there's a little bidding war in the back that's like, who will pay more for this? Is it George or is it Fat Jack's? And that's how you pop up on top, is running ads like that. So a lot of the organic terms that people are going and searching on their own overlap with those paid terms, and that's positive. So that means, hey, we're paying for the right things because these are things that people are looking for. On the organic side, something that I want to point out, so we're not running any ads for Pickle Fest, for example. Did y'all notice that Pickle Fest was amazing, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yes,
Heard about
very
it.
impressive Pickle Fest. Can't take credit for it. People that are watching on camera, I'm not trying to take credit for that. But Monica Beeman, she did a really great job, and it was awesome.
It was great for business.
Good, yeah. So we are happy to see that people came to our page for information about it. She didn't have a website. Great. So we were able to, we made just like kind of a blog post about it and directed people to our Facebook for more information, but just kind of did when, where, who, what, how. And so that was great for us because we're able to kind of position us as an expert where people say, oh, I'll go to this website. They always have what's going on. I learned about Pickle Fest on there, even though it wasn't our event. So a lot of what we're able to do is just kind of piggyback on things that are happening in the city and share it and be a provider of information for people, which makes us handy and people like us. Let's see if there's anything else on here I wanted to talk about. Oh, people searching for things like what to do in Texarkana, events in Texarkana, people, or where to eat in Texarkana. That shows us that they're leaning into this experience that we want people to think about. Like, it's an action. It's what am I doing there? Where am I going? What event am I going to? So we feel like that's moving in the right direction for us. To rewind, when we took over this account, the website was Our Texarkana, and we switched to Experience Texarkana because we're trying to make it more experiential. What can you do here that's unique? And shine a light on us in that way, since we don't necessarily have, all the things people complain we don't have, Hard Rock Cafe, Dave & Buster's, whatever. But we do have cool things. Anybody have questions about this? Okay, these were the 4 top performing Facebook posts over the last year and 4 months. So like I just talked about Pickle Fest, the 2 in the middle, air show, not necessarily our event, although we are working on it with them, and the fair, not necessarily our event, but just something that people like that's already an event in town, and we're able to help draw attention to it and promote it. And then on the left is obviously our biggest experience here in Texarkana, which is going to get your picture made at the state line. And you'll know that we have like a landing spot on the website about that because nobody had anything. So we're kind of taking ownership of that, where people can figure out, oh, hey, I can go inside the post office part. I can take a picture. There is a selfie stand, whatever, and learning about the history. On the right is a reel of Bobby Ferguson Park. I don't know do you guys see this stuff out in the wild? Yes, okay. Well, this reel has had probably the most comments of a video that we have out there, and it's not all great. But, people are engaging, and, it's somebody who's like, oh, I saw a snake there. Oh, I tripped because of the sidewalk, whatever, but people are engaging. They're seeing our stuff. So it's kind of fun to look at those. And if somebody's too negative, we try to respond. We had a guy that said, I don't remember what he said, something negative, and we said, hey, are you local? Like, we'd love to take you on an adventure day, because he's just like, oh, there's nothing to do here. And we're like, oh, we can take you to a few places. Of course, he didn't answer, because these people just want to talk behind their keyboards, but we know that they're getting engagement. Okay, and these are the top paid ads on Meta, and paid ads also go not just on Facebook, but Instagram, so that's why we call it Meta. It's the Meta family. So one of them is just kind of a carousel of attractive pictures that treat yourself. It says touch some grass. There's another one, that's Naaman's Food, by the way, if you're wondering. The middle one, we do this pretty much every Friday. We'll have kind of a roundup of like 5 things to do this weekend. So those are doing well. People are reading them and engaging with them. And then on the right, of course, food videos. People like to look at food, so that's performing well. Okay, so we are running some geofencing ads. Geofencing is where you put like an invisible fence around a location, and when your phone crosses through that fence, everybody has like an advertiser ID in your phone. You get captured in that fence, and then we can kind of, you're not tracking them, but you're sending them ads wherever they go once they've hit that fence. So we have been geofencing like interstate rest stops and landmarks that are on routes into Texarkana, visitor centers, gas stations, things like that. And then we can track if any of those people went into a business in our A&P partnership world. Is that complicated?
No, that's great. That's
Okay.
great.
So we're doing that, but we just started that type of ad in August, and so those are things that collect data over time, and it takes time to really see any kind of information or results. 0.4 click-through rate is what that means, 0.4%, but the average is like 0.1 on ads. Just think about how many ads you see and you move on, and you don't click on it. So that's a good click-through rate. and it's reaching a lot of people. So those are doing good, and we hope that as we continue, if you continue to run those types of ads, we'll continue to get more and more data, and that data just kind of continues to feed what you're doing. So if you see people saw ads and they went here, well, then let's push people there. They like that place. They didn't ever go here. Well, let's not talk about that place. They don't go there. Stuff like that. And then we did this last year, or for 24, 25, this was out across the state of Arkansas. This is a State of Arkansas publication, and they reached out to us again a couple months ago to be out in 26. So we've already committed to this ad, and y'all are running this ad again, so that ad will be out in 2026. And it's just a statewide guide. They give it to people to try to get people to plan meetings in town, so it's got information about the convention center and floor plans and things like that in the ad. And then this is my last page, guys. So one thing that we did that was kind of a win, I brought y'all these visitor guides. I didn't know if you'd seen them yet. So we printed just a few, and we took them to our local visitor centers. Well, Carol at one of the visitor centers here said she was about to go to a manager's meeting and see everybody from across the state. So she was like, if you give me some, I will distribute them. So we got some more printed. Thank you to Commissioner Brewer for okaying that for us. And she has distributed those. So now we'll have this Texarkana guide in, I think there are 12 travel centers across the state of Arkansas, so that's good. We don't know where they were before. No. Not a mouse. Thank you. And we kind of talked about print and whether it's effective, and I was joking with Eric before the meeting that please don't look through that and say, oh, well, now there's a new restaurant. It's because, there's just a time where you got to cut it off. And it was the Eagle. We got the Eagle, and then it's like, it's done for now. So if you guys see anything, also Subway and Walmart, that's closed. If anybody was wondering, Subway and Walmart's a thing that we've had on our website that's not open anymore. So we're trying to stay on top of all of those businesses. But it's nice to have that out in the world. It's got information. People can go to the website. So even if there's something that's not current in there, hopefully they'll have Texarkana on their mind. We are already getting information on 2026 ad opportunities, and that's just informational for you guys. I mean, the state of Arkansas does things. It's almost like co-op dollars where they'll say, hey, if you run X amount in video ads, we'll match a little bit of it, things like that. So they're already reaching out to us about that. We've told them that we're not sure exactly what the budget has in store for 2026 just yet, but that can be a thing we can work on if needed. And then this partnership program, we've talked to y'all about this a few times. We got some window clings printed, and I have a few with me. I should have passed those out. So the idea is that the restaurants and hotels that are in this taxing district, for lack of a better term, feel like they're partners with the A&P. They feel like they know what's going on. Maybe when they open up or whatever, somebody reaches out to them and they're like, hey, that's my person with A&P. He brought me this sticker. I'm going to put it on my window. It's got a QR code that links to the website. Just so that these people, without them, this money doesn't exist, obviously.
Right.
So just so that they feel included, they feel that they've got some buy-in, they feel like they know what's going on. We would love to flesh that out more as a next step in the future. And it might be that you guys decide to pick one day a month that you go out and visit these businesses and take them information, and we can help provide that. Or maybe it's a kit we're giving to city staff and they're giving it to them when they apply for a business license or whatever it is. But we would like to work in the future on getting that partnership to feel a little stronger. I don't get a ton of feedback from other businesses besides, those that are here on our commission. George has connected us with the Wild Hair owner, so we've talked a little bit with him, and he's mostly concerned about, he's got a lot of events he's trying to throw. He just wants exposure for those, and we're happy to share those. But other than that, I don't hear a lot from business owners, so I don't know what they think about the A&P, what they think about the tax, and I don't know. So if you guys have any insights there, that would be great. But I do think, anything we can do to strengthen that connection is great, and that's something that we would like to work on further in the next year.
Hey, Danny, I like the idea that, that way they know that we're on the same team, because whether or not we know it or not, they're looking, they're listening, and so making a visit, to those businesses periodically, it will straighten the bond. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about baseball really fast. So, for sure, in the future, if you guys have an amazing baseball facility, yes, we can do more to help those people know what's cool in Arkansas. Yeah, so we can geofence the field, we can be running ads. Adam, I will say, this past summer, Adam reached out to us and told us about the baseball tournament. We made him a special sticker. I don't know if y'all saw it, it was an Experience Texarkana, it had a little baseball guy.
Okay.
And I think he made bags for the coaches, goodie bags, maybe. So I believe he put those in those goodie bags, but that's an opportunity for coupons or whatever. And I think if, we all know about something coming to town with enough advance notice that, yes, we could put together some better marketing packages for these people.
Could we put something on the website? We'd, of course, ask the restaurants and hotels if they wanted to, but QR code for Fat Jack's or for Hopkins.
Right.
Visit the site and get a 10%, 15% free appetizer, something to make them come in.
Yeah, I think we could do
Yeah,
something like that.
something.
I think something like that would be, foot traffic would
Yeah.
be good. And I think the people who pay into this fund would love that, because I don't know if they see what we see. I don't know, I would like to do that. I don't know if that's something that you have time to approach, or, how you would do that. But I would love to see something like that.
Yeah, okay, I think we could
That'd
talk
be
about
great.
that and
And
figure
when we
out.
go out to visit these businesses, we can tell them, hey, this is what we're looking at and how to promote your business a little bit more. So you receive some ROI versus, okay, I just paid this in, I'm just sitting and waiting. Now, you're sitting and waiting, but you have some other, area,
Advertising.
some other advertising that's being marketed for you.
How would you do that, though? How would you get 30 QR codes on a website? How would that even work? Is that even possible?
Yeah, I don't know, I'd have to think about that. A QR code on a website's tough, because if I'm on my phone, how am I clicking that? You know what I
Right.
mean? I don't know, we'd have to think about a good way to promote a discount or whatever, but we could come up with something.
You could have a QR code in here by everybody's name that would guide them to their individual Facebook page or whatever that was.
Well, that's paper, we'll need something digital as well.
Well, I mean, if we
We
have
can do both.
10 restaurants that say, I'll give 15% off to these baseball people, that could be us running ads to the baseball people to say, visit this, or this restaurant, and you'll get a
I was
discount.
just saying anybody that visited experiencetexarkana.com. If they
Yeah,
go to
and
the
we could-
website, and maybe there's a place that said, partners, a page that just had partners that are participating in a 15% off, or their own, whatever, that each wants to do their own. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, we
You
could
see
do
what
that.
I'm
Mhm.
saying? Not just necessarily baseball, but anybody that goes to the website, since it has so much, 4 million plus.
Yeah, we could do something like that for sure, if anybody's willing to give a discount.
Sounds good. Sound like a.
Yeah,
a
I
shot
was
in the
thinking-
glass
Is there a place to get
for
more of
everyone.
these,
Yeah.
or is it just the visitor centers?
I have some.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave some downstairs. I have maybe 200 at my office.
like 'em.
If you need some for someplace, they're at the chamber, and they're at the visitor center towards Hot Springs and the one out here towards Red River. But we can always print more.
chamber.
We kind of, we talked about, because that is on the website. That visitor guide is hosted on the website. So if somebody's online and they want to look at that, they can, and it'll pop up as a PDF. But, as far as printing more and putting them more places, we can certainly do that.
And then I have one last thing before you take your seat. The 5 things to do in Texarkana, my daughters, they absolutely love that when they come in town.
Good.
They
Yeah.
absolutely love it. I try to stick with the same.
Do something different, yeah.
They love that 5 things to do.
This is kind of a sidebar, but something that's on our mind if we do work with you guys in 2026, and just something that you guys might want to consider. I love that you guys are talking about your budget, your bylaws, all your things, making changes, maybe not just doing it because it's been done. I think that's great. Tracy and my team, we went last year to the Arkansas Governor's Conference on Tourism. I know I've told you guys this already, but so that happens every year. And this year, last year it was in February, I'm assuming it's in February again. It's in Little Rock this time, so it's a little closer. It was in Bentonville last year. But a lot of people from A&Ps across the state of Arkansas come and get together, and it's a good place to network with those people. I mean, we made friends with people where we were digging through their budget to say, hey, how do you guys do this, this, and this? How do you do this, this? And everybody's very open about sharing information. And then there are educational sessions about tourism. The state's there saying, here's what we're seeing as trends, yada, yada. But that might be something that some of you guys would consider going to, just to even network with other people that are in your seats and see, how do you do it in your city?
When you say governor's tourism,
It's like ArConGov, the Arkansas, or ArGovCon, Arkansas Governors Conference on Tourism.
It's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
We hosted it here, I don't know, about 10 years ago. It was here at Texarkana.
oh, wow,
Okay,
And A&P helped fund them coming here.
okay, fun.
oh, wow.
That was before my time to work with you,
Thanks, Eric.
obviously,
And
but.
before our time too, anybody was on
Before my
this board. All right, well, that's,
Oh, I did have one more thing, I'm sorry. So I do just want to kind of zoom out again and say that right now, our main metric for success on all the things that we're doing, so social media, any kind of PR outreach, any website information, any kind of information we disseminate or content we're creating for you guys, right now, our main measure for success is just clicks to that website, engagement on social media. We would love to be able to tie these efforts into dollars in the future, and that might mean creating some systems with the city,
Oh, yeah.
but figuring out, because we want to see the tax income increase, of
Right.
course, like that's everybody's goal.
Right.
So it would be nice in the future to be able to kind of marry those things together where we could see, and I feel like y'all run like a year behind on knowing your tax income because people are paying at the end of the year or whatever. But hopefully that's something that we can work on where we can see if these advertising efforts are resulting in more dollars in Texarkana.
That's great, because that would help us when we're doing allocations as well, because we want the best bang for the buck, and that's just not putting the same monies to the same people. We don't see a ROI, but being able to have something measurable, hey, that'd be great. That'd be great. I have one question. When I do decide, or any of us decide to go out and visit the businesses or what have you, I would like maybe to stop by your office and, maybe get some more up-to-date input, like, okay, I'm about to go visit this business. Anything else you want to tell me before I go visit them?
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Like you've done in the past. I just want to
Yeah.
put that out there to a lot of the board members that's been helpful. And so,
Yeah, and we have some swag, at our office still. We have some T-shirts, we have tote bags. So if
Okay.
you want to come by and grab that and you say, hey, I saw on Facebook there's a new diner in the old Reggie's and I want to pop by there and give him a bag and welcome him to the Arkansas side. And
Yes.
yeah, you guys can feel free to contact us and we'll help facilitate that.
awesome, thanks. Are there any more questions or concerns? If not, then we appreciate your time.
Okay,
And
thank you
We'll be in
guys.
touch. Awesome. Thank you. All right, the next item we have on the agenda is to review and amend the A&P funding application and recipient package.
I asked them to include this simply because if we go through with this bond, we're gonna be super limited on how much money we have to distribute. And I think we need to think long and hard about, if we do this bond and we have 150 grand a year, plus or minus, and we used to give away 2 million,
That's gonna take some convincing on my part.
we can cull the herd a lot by the application.